afternoon, my fabulous 150. Welcome to another cooking video. Now, normally today I would be doing a reading video, but I haven't picked out the next book yet. So I'm gonna be trying to make my own California rolls. So, yep, that's what I'm doing today. So I have basically all my ingredients here on the counter, except, well, yeah, the imitation crab and the cucumber are in the fridge, just because, and we don't need those right now. Technically, I'm starting with the rice, so this stuff is just out here at the moment. And so I'm gonna start with the rice, obviously. Now, technically you're supposed to use nori sheets, but when I went to the store, all they had were these smaller snack size pieces. So this is what I'm going to be using. It's just, and it's got a little bit of sea salt on it, so yeah. That's what we're using for our seaweed. I couldn't find sheets, so I'm just gonna try this and see how it goes. Okay, I'm back. So I had to change angles, and I also had to let the rice sit in water for about 15 minutes before cooking it. So yeah, there's about a cup and a half of the sushi rice in here and 2 cups of water. It has now sit, yeah. I've let it sit for about 15 minutes prior to this clip, and I'm gonna bring it to a boil. And it doesn't say what temperature, so I'm just gonna start it on medium and go from there. But I'm not gonna film this process because y'all know what boiling water looks like, so I'm not gonna share that part, and I've already told you the amounts. But what I am gonna do while the rice is cooking, I'm gonna go ahead and make my vinegar mixture with my sugar and my salt and my vinegar. So we're gonna go over to the kitchen island, and we're gonna do that. All right, so now that I'm over here, I have a small sauce bowl, and I'm just gonna put my vinegar mixture in that. But since I only have 1 tablespoon thing out, I'm gonna be doing my sugar first, and I'll be adding about 3 tablespoons of sugar. So there's that. Okay, I think I'm gonna have to get a bigger bowl thing for this. So, yeah, we're gonna use this thing instead, because that was a lot more ingredients than I thought. So, moving on. For these, that is it for the vinegar. That. And I'll rinse it off when I go to do the salt, because I have to go do the salt over the trash can. But it'll be about a teaspoon of salt. So I'm gonna do that off camera because it can get a little messy. So, be right back. Alright, I'm back. So, the rice is just sitting for about 10 minutes. It's simmered for about 20, and I just had to remove it from heat, and it sits for 10 minutes before I do anything else with it. But while that's doing its thing, I'm gonna try and get this avocado sliced. So, hopefully I can do this a little bit better now that I know kind of a bit more of how to do this. So I'm gonna start by chopping off the top of it, which was a thing I saw in a video recently. So I'm gonna do that, and then I'm gonna time lapse the rest of this because sometimes I can get a little bit frustrated with it, and also it's faster to put it in a video with time lapse. So. Put a little bit of lemon juice on the avocados. I've also chopped up some cucumbers to go on it, and I tried to chop it up how they did it in the video, but the cucumber did not want to slice that way, so I just did the best I could. So and the lemon juice is going to prevent bruising on the avocado. So just sprinkle that on there, kind of. Like so. And yeah, I gotta go get this avocado off my hands. And again, this is one of those tricky parts. So I'm gonna take this vinegar, sugar, and salt mixture, and I'm gonna dump it into a container and spread it on there. So that's what's gonna be happening off camera, and I'll be back when it's time to assemble the roll. We're gonna open our seaweed. Now, yep, and it's also where I'm going to deviate from the instructions just a little bit, just because theirs was sheets and ours is, well, we still have like sheets, but they're smaller sheets than what they have in theirs. And the rice is not going to fit on it. So we're just going to spread this out and we also don't have plastic wrap. So I'm just going to spread it out onto the wax paper, and just going to put this inside, and that's what it's going to be happening. And I'll probably time lapse this until it gets to the part where I roll it. And I also have to roast some sesame seeds. Now, the recipe says to put this on here before you flip the seaweed over. But since I'm not going to be doing that, once it's rolled, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to roll the rolls in the sesame seeds. I saw that in another sushi making video, and if it works for them, I figured it could work for me. So that's what's happening. And yeah, fun time lapse. Okay, so I'm gonna try to roll this as it shows in the recipe. So I just sort of hold the fillings in there as I go. And I'm not sure how well this is gonna work. So I rolled it into, and okay, so I think I overfilled it just a smidge. So yeah, and I'm gonna pull the paper away and just sort of see what happens. Okay. Okay, so maybe I used just a hair too much rice. I know this is a weird angle, but yeah. I'm gonna do the sesame seeds and I'll get back to you. So, just a moment. All right, so I was gonna use this cutting mat to roll the sesame seeds onto the sushi rolls. However, it did a thing when I put the hot seeds on it, so, and a second ago it was like, looked kind of warped, but I guess it's fine now. But anyway, I'm gonna be using this much larger cutting board for this, actually, because, and after I roll this stuff on there, I'm gonna try to cut them up. Hopefully they won't fall apart, but they might, because unfortunately the recipe didn't really say how much rice to use per roll, and that was information that I needed. So I think I might have used too much rice because it's kind of like falling apart. So yeah. And like I said, I also there wasn't any plastic wrap, so I had to use wax paper and it was sticking to that. So yeah, I put it in a container to harden just a little bit so that hopefully I can get these things on here and everything. So I'm gonna take it out. I've just stuck it in a Tupperware container. So I'm gonna take it out and hopefully it'll stay intact long enough for me to get the things in the things. Oh gosh. So it's just I'm gonna go like this. All right, that's way too many sesame seeds. Oh well. I'm learning. This is obviously my first time making California rolls, so learning. And I'm gonna have to put that back in the fridge to harden together, hopefully a little bit more. I think it's too much rice and also a little under-rolled, unfortunately. So I'll be back in a few hours, I guess, when hopefully this is a little bit harder, like more formed, and I'm able to chop it up. 'Cause if I do it right now, it's gonna completely fall apart, and I don't know what I'm doing. So, all right, I'm back. So I just got this out of the freezer, and it feels like it is definitely more solid. So I'm gonna just try to whack it and chop it up. So here's nothing. So the knife is wet because it's supposed to be, so here goes. And there we go. That's the roll. And it actually doesn't look as bad as I thought it would. So there's that. And I'm gonna take a picture of this because beautiful. And I'll time lapse the rest of this. So see ya.